What is the key to becoming a champion? Is it about being strong, fast, or technical? Of course, all these factors are essential in determining the outcome of a fight. But above all of them, there is one quality that separates the contenders from the champions: their chin. Welcome back to another episode of Anatomy of a Champion here at the home of boxing. Today, we're going to talk about a fighter's most mysterious weapon, their chin. This is the part of the body that has the least amount of bones, but can withstand the most amount of punishment. It's also the hardest to train, but can make or break a fighter's career. A fighter's chin is what allows him to take a devastating shot and keep fighting. It's what allows him to take a beating in one round and come back in the next and be stronger than ever. It's what allows him to go down in defeat and still have the heart and courage to get back up. In short, a fighter's chin is what allows him to win. In this video, we will look at what makes up a fighter's chin and how they can train it so that it becomes their greatest weapon. So the first thing you need to understand about a fighter's chin is that it is not just about how hard they can punch. If that were the case, every heavyweight would have a granite chin because they all punch hard. Instead, it's about how well a fighter can absorb shock. When two people collide at full speed, there's only one winner. Now, if those two people are cars, it's different. There's no doubt that the car that hits the other one will win, but the car that gets hit will likely turn into a crumpled piece of metal. However, if those two people are boxers, it's a whole different story. Sure, the person who gets hit will feel the pain of being smashed into by the other person, but they won't turn into a crumpled piece of metal. Instead, they'll stay intact and be able to continue fighting. The reason for this is simple. Boxers have developed a special ability to absorb shock. Their bodies are like springs that can compress under pressure and then release that pressure once the force is over. This is why you often see boxers double over after taking a punch, even though they haven't been knocked out. They're not hurt, but they're trying to release the shock from their bodies. Now, some people are born with this ability, but it can also be trained. However, it takes years of practice and dedication. That's why most fighters don't have great chins. It's not because they lack the desire to win, but because they haven't had the time or opportunity to develop this ability. This is where legends with granite chins such as Mark Hunt and George Foreman come in. They weren't just naturally gifted with a great chin, but they also put in the work to develop it. They knew that having a great chin wasn't just about surviving punches, but thriving after taking them. It's like when you play a video game and your character takes damage. If you keep playing, your character will eventually become stronger because of the damage they've taken. In the same way, when a fighter takes a punch, they should use that pain to fuel their comeback. Of course, this isn't easy. It takes a lot of mental toughness and willpower to do this. But when done right, it can be a powerful weapon against any opponent. There are many ways to train your chin, but the most important thing is to learn how to fall. When you fall down in a fight, you want to protect your head at all costs. It means tucking your chin to your chest and rolling on the floor to protect your head from any follow-up attacks. You may think this is easy, but believe me, it takes a lot of practice to fall down and protect your head at the same time. It's something that needs to be practiced in sparring, and you need to fall down on the canvas as well as the floor. Once you can fall down correctly, you need to learn how to get back up. Getting up from a knockout punch is one of the hardest things a boxer can do. You're not only dealing with the pain of the punch, but also the embarrassment of being knocked down. To make matters worse, if you're in a championship fight, the clock stops when you get knocked down, which gives your opponent more time to recover. That's why it's so important to get up quickly. Every second counts in a fight, and getting up quickly shows your opponent that you're still in the fight. Now, it also sends a message to yourself that you're not out yet. To get up quickly, you need to have a routine that you practice in training. For example, I always make sure to take a deep breath, count to 5, and then push myself up. This may not seem like much, but it helps you get up faster and with less effort. Once you get up, you need to shake off the punch and get back into the fight. That means blocking, moving, and throwing your own punches. The best way to do this is to keep your head close to your opponent, so that he can't hit you with another knockout punch. You want to be in control of the distance, so that you can dictate the pace of the fight. If you can do this, you'll be able to turn the tables on your opponent and take control of the fight. Of course, all of this is easier said than done. It takes years of practice and experience to be able to do this effectively. But that's the challenge of being a great champion. It's not enough to just be talented or have a great chin. You must also have the skills and experience to use that talent effectively. This is what separates the contenders from the champions. The contenders may have the talent to be champions, but they lack the experience and skills to use that talent effectively. On the other hand, the champions not only have the talent and experience, but also the skills to use that talent effectively. In other words, champions know how to win fights. They have the experience and knowledge to get the job done no matter what obstacles they face. Take George Foreman, for example. He was a big, powerful puncher who could end a fight with one punch. But he also had a granite chin that allowed him to take a beating in one round and come back in the next and be stronger than ever. And let's not forget about Mark Hunt. This guy could literally laugh off punches. His chin was so strong that he could take a punch that would knock out most heavyweights and just keep on smiling. These guys weren't just lucky. They'd spent years developing their chins so that they would be razor-sharp weapons in their arsenal. They knew that having a great chin wasn't just about surviving punches, but thriving after taking them. So if you want to be like the legends, you need to start working on your chin today. Start by learning how to fall and get up correctly, and start practicing in the gym. Take some shots and learn how to shake them off. And finally, work on your overall skills so that you can use your chin effectively in a fight. Becoming a great champion with a granite chin doesn't happen overnight. It takes years of hard work and dedication. But if you're willing to put in the work, you can achieve greatness. So remember, your chin is your most dangerous weapon. Use it wisely. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for the next video.